What is happening, everybody? I hope you guys are having a happy Friday, although today I might ruin your Friday just a little bit. The reason that may be is I'm about to shit on everybody's favorite ski resort, Arapahoe Basin. Yes, unfortunately all ski resorts come with their flaws, but unfortunately A-Basin has quite a few. Sorry to burst your bubble, A-Basin fans, but your ski resort isn't perfect either. I remember when I first moved to Colorado, A-Basin was the very first ski resort I visited, and it was the main ski resort where I progressed from a beginner skier to an expert skier. So I do have a lot of nostalgia for this resort. Unfortunately, this place has changed over time and is not the same place it once was 15 years ago. Let's start with the absolutely atrocious parking situation. Once upon a time, A-Basin used to be the place where you could just drive over Loveland Pass and pull into one of the parking lots and have nothing to worry about. Then comes Alterra, and they fuck all of that up. Yup, even A-Basin had to sell themselves out to the corporate ski resort elites. Not only do you have to pay to park there now, but now you have to make a reservation prior to going. So not only did we lose our free parking, but now we lost our ability to make a last minute decision on the fly to choose A-Basin. Despite paying over $1,300 for a season pass, you have to reserve your visit now, which is pretty insane. You gotta love capitalism, don't ya? Once you decide to forget about all that bullshit and head up to A-Basin anyway because you just couldn't pass up a fresh powder day, you arrive at A-Basin. Once you go through all the hassle of putting on those annoying, frustrating, and pain-in-the-ass ski boots, you then walk to the ski hill. This isn't just any typical walk that you normally have to do. If you had to park in the upper lot because the lower lot was full, you have to walk down a whole set of slippery stairs and ski boots where you can't hold on to any of the railings because your hands are full of equipment just to get to the underpass that goes below Highway 6. You know, the road you just took to get here. I wonder how many lawsuits A-Basin is having to deal with because of those stairs. In all honesty, I think this is the only ski resort I've heard of where you have the fear of having to go to the ER before any of the actual skiing even begins. Now that you either survived the underpass or you got lucky and got to park in the lower lot, you arrive at the mountain. You decide to hop on the Black Mountain Express. Speaking of Black Mountain Express, who came up with that god-awful name for the lift? I don't want to ski on a black mountain. I want to ski on a white mountain, for crying out loud. Skiing on a black mountain sounds inferior. I think a drunk 5-year-old could have came up with a better name than that. I mean, what happened to the name they had for the old triple it replaced? Exhibition. Was A-Basin worried about dealing with lawsuits because the exact same lift name was used at Highlands? Because to me, it seems like that's the only logical excuse for a dumb lift name change. Maybe they probably should have thought of that back in 1972 instead of later realizing that in 2010. After you get off the Black Mountain Express, which I am tired of saying by the way because it is a fucking mouthful, the next lift is called Lenawee. More like Lenawee my time. I don't think I have ever seen any other lift where I spend more time waiting in line than I do on a round trip lap on the lift itself, including skiing down after. Let's also not forget the fact A-Basin spent all that money upgrading the old triple to a high-speed 6-pack, but they forgot to add in the footrest on the bar. Basically, unless you're afraid of heights, there is no reason to put the bar down. Which, let's be honest, if you're afraid of heights, what the hell are you doing on the ski hill to begin with? To add insult to injury, the lift it replaced already had footrest. So, this so-called upgrade turned out to be more of a downgrade in the end. And the lines are still there despite having double the capacity now. That small real-world example right there pretty much debunks the just one more lane myth when it comes to expanding I-70. Montezuma Bowl. Great bowl, but why can't the bottom terminal of the Zuma lift be lower down the hill? You know, so I don't have to hike? Now moving on to the Beavers. Just like the Zuma lift, they actually got it right this time and put footrests on the bar. so at least that makes the 15-minute ride up on a slow fixed grip lift a little bit more forgivable. Unfortunately, every single runoff of Beavers either funnels down to face shot goalie or loafer/Davis run. Whoever decided loafer or Davis should be rated blues must have been high as fuck. I am an expert skier and I barely even want to ski the blues at Beavers, so how the fuck do you think an intermediate skier feels about them? Seriously, the two blues and the headshot goalie, I feel like I'm skiing Diamondback or Starfire at Keystone where it's always icy. And don't even get me started with the last waltz catwalk. If you know what that run is, you must be a true A-Basin skier. Pallavicini. They took the time and money to replace the old double, which I don't blame them. It was definitely getting up there in age. What did they replace it with? Was it a high-speed six-pack? A high-speed quad? Or even a fixed grip quad? Nope, none of the above. They just replaced it with another double chair. Seriously, they just gave unlimited A-Basin access to Icon pass holders. Do these dumbasses seriously think a fucking fixed grip double is going to cut it in 10 to 20 years? Now that we covered every single area on this absolutely flawed mountain, let's talk about their food. On top of Beavers, you have the Il Refugio, which is a sit-down service restaurant. Yeah, no, I did not ask for that. If I wanted to eat at some fancy restaurant, I probably would have gone to Vail, Breckenridge, Copper, or even Keystone that is just down the street. Then you have the Black Mountain Lodge, right at the top of Black Mountain Express. That sounds like a great idea for them to serve smoked food, which I love smoked food. But god damn it, you could have left out the fucking barbecue sauce. Why do you have to mix in barbecue sauce on everything you fucking serve? Also, why waffle fries? Like, why? Are you trying to be a more woke version of Chick-fil-A? Waffle fries are probably the most overrated type of french fry I have ever eaten. I'm sorry, but I've had better fries elsewhere. I can't believe so many people make the drive all the way over here for this mediocrity, even when Loveland Pass is closed. Which, when isn't it? Apparently, this ski resort's slogan is, legendary for a reason. Seriously? This liquefied pile of dog shit is what you consider legendary? I thought Vail calling their back bowls the legendary back bowls was quite a stretch. But this is a whole new level of over-marketing. I take 5 laps on this place, and I'm already bored as fuck. Like, this is probably the smallest ski resort in Colorado, of course with the exception of Echo Mountain and Eldora, which, let's be honest, us real skiers don't even consider those places ski areas. Whatever. All you Coloradans can have A-Basin. I'm gonna go seek elsewhere for some good skiing.